Oh, they're hot. My noodles are hot and they're making my nose run. Hello and welcome back to your mother's house. Yes, I am here and I am staying. I hope you're making me a nice cup of tea, then sweetly tucking me into bed and giving my forehead a tender smooch. I live here now, and I'm doing your mum. This is the first commentary style video I've done on this channel. I've always wanted to dip my toes into the commentary waters, submerge my little piggies if you will, but I've never known how to. So I started thinking about how I could mash commentary and gaming together. I mean, I don't play many games apart from Minecraft, mainly because they're expensive and my bank account is a packet of chips after my family has torn it to pieces, licking up every crumb like a pack of Neanderthals. So commentating gameplay and new releases was out of the question. Also, I didn't want to just copy Good Game's Spawn Point, as they're legendary and no one will ever compare. But then, as if God heard my prayers, my fairy godmother came ring-a-ding-dinging at my front door. A blue Robin Williams appeared from my magic lamp on my RGB gaming desk. The heavens opened, and there placed in my lap, aka my inbox, was the invite to MCC Island. Now, if you don't know what MCC Island is, or even just MCC, let me give you a brief introduction to the wonder known as Minecraft Championship. The event is a tournament of a series of games in which players, usually content creators, play in teams of 4 to determine the winner. There is no monetary prize, however the winners get bragging rights and a cool MCC coin as a physical token. The event is a friendly competition that tests the players' skills in Minecraft, such as parkour, PvP, teamwork, building, and survival. Noxcrew states that MCC is a free-to-enter tournament with no prize money. We run it for fun, for our love of the Minecraft community, and making great things. I love the concept of MCC, a friendly event in which the Minecraft community can come together and enjoy it with each other. I love seeing the creativity of the game's concepts and the teamwork of the players involved. It also just looks like so much fun. Noxcrew is super talented and make amazing maps and games. All the credit goes to them, of course. They really have created a fantastic way to celebrate such a popular game and community such as Minecraft. Now, MCC Island is a Minecraft server based on the MCC events and is currently being developed by Noxcrew. The concept is similar to the ever so famous Hypixel and includes several exciting minigames that are played in the MCC event. I personally have been dying to play these games as they look like so much fun when watching the event. These games are also played nowhere else, so the only way you could ever play them was in the events themselves. MCC Island has now given normal people, like myself, access to these games. And by normal people, I mean people who don't have a following or just aren't content creators and cannot compete in the events. So when the invite landed in my inbox, my hand began getting dizzy with excitement and ideas. I've been watching this event on Twitch every month at 5 AM for over a year, and now I get to try out the games I've been dying to play. Well, sign me the hell up, Noxcrew, slap my name down on your whitelist and, well, slap my ass too while you're at it. It also gave me an excuse to start streaming. Check me out on twitch.tv/MixieLovesMilk. When I joined the server, I noticed that there were only 4 games available to play. This is because the server is still in its beta days and still being developed. The players invited to play on the server are there to test it out and report bugs back to the developers. The 4 games available to play are Battlebox, To Get to the Other Side, Sky Battle, and Hole in the Wall. I only started the server by playing Hole in the Wall and To Get to the Other Side, so I'll give a brief description on these. You can look the others up as I won't be discussing them in this video. To Get to the Other Side is a game where players must race across the map from one end to the other with various obstacles in their way. They are given tools to help them such as blocks, a pickaxe, and sometimes even nothing. Once they reach the end, they have to hit a chicken to qualify and complete their goal. This game relies on the player's basic Minecraft skills and is not PvP based, although PvP is still enabled. In Hole in the Wall, players are on a raised platform and have to fit through holes in walls that are quickly moving towards them. The players must avoid getting pushed off by walls as they're made of bouncy slime and survive until the end. Over time, the speed and difficulty of the walls increase, as well as traps and extra obstacles to try and sabotage the players. Now, when I started playing these games, I noticed that I was pretty horrible at them. And lucky for me, I captured my horrendous gameplay on stream. I started off with Hole in the Wall because this game was one of the ones that I was most excited to play. And I won't lie, I sucked. I blew it. I failed so hard, Jesus spammed L in my chat. My first game, I was the first one out. The wall hit me like a Mack truck and left no sympathies. Also, I forgot to mention, but actual well-known creators that compete in the MCC events are whitelisted on the server as well, meaning that you have a chance of playing with them. And I forgot this going into my first ever game on the server when I realised I was playing with the real Pizza Hut. Is that the real Pizza Hut? There's no way that's the real pizza. Is it? Yep, so since then, I have a list of creators that I've played with or seen in lobbies, and it's just so surreal to be in the same server as them. I got third! I beat CPK! What? Get wrecked. Eat my dust. Now, during my first stream, I slowly got a bit better at Hole in the Wall, but it wasn't good enough for me. I worked my way up from the first player out to placing 5th, which was still pretty good, but again, not good enough for me. I can become quite competitive, and I'm a perfectionist, and I really wanted that first place spot on the podium. So after stream, I grinded so hard. I grinded the game so hard. I got much better and started placing in the top 5 in most games, and sometimes I even got first. I got to know the walls and the traps really well. I could briefly see a wall and know exactly where I needed to go to dodge it. I also began having preferences for walls, which is something that I never thought I would say, but it's true. Fitting in holes has become second nature.
That's what she said.
I also learned how to avoid each trap so that it didn't affect my wall dodging too much and get me knocked out. For example, I learned not to engage with the mobs that spawn. There is a chance of them immediately turning on you when they spawn, but you can't avoid that. But most of the time, I learned that they go for other players, and you're able to dodge them. I got really comfortable with this game's mechanics, and I started becoming daring. I also blasted absolute bangers while playing, which made it quite mindful and relaxing. I could sit back and play Hole in the Wall with not many thoughts in my head. There would be the occasional gamer rage because someone would just punch you off, but that's valid, okay? My anger is valid. It was uncalled for. The rounds are also the perfect length time-wise. They're often 5 minutes max and short and fun. However, I wish there was an endless option, where the game is constantly going and players can come and go whenever they like. This game mode is available on the MCC training server that MCC competitors have access to train for the events. I would love it if they added this to the MCC Island server. This is because the queue time in between games is often very long. I find myself sitting waiting for a game, and in the meantime the current game has ended and we're teleported back to the main lobby. I even started doing my Duolingo practice while waiting. Now I admit, it could be due to the time that I usually play on the server. I live in Australia and I usually play in the evening, and in the Northern Hemisphere it's usually very early in the morning during this time, meaning that there are not as many players on the MCC server, thus not making up as many games and causing a longer queue time in between games. But still, it gets very boring waiting for a new game to come about, especially if you get knocked out early in the round and see the wait as just a waste of time. Now to the bugs. I know that this server is still in its early days, so it's not going to be perfect. And this isn't me complaining at all, I'm just pointing things out. The first bug isn't a big deal and doesn't affect the gameplay, but it's just funny. I've noticed that sometimes you can spawn in a game without your skin's hat on. You know that outer part of your skin that adds depth in things such as your hair and just gives like an extra layer to your skin? Well, sometimes it just doesn't appear when you spawn in a game. So you just look like a smooth blockhead with no texture or depth, and your skin just looks dumb and naked. You can go into the options menu and pull the good old off and on again trick, but it's just a little annoying and embarrassing to be seen like that. I mean, my head has just been undressed in front of other players, so I feel a little exposed. The second and last bug that I did notice does affect the gameplay. Sometimes you can just fully glitch through walls and still be okay. Like I've glitched through solid walls where there's no hole and somehow I'm fine. How? I even won a game because of it in one round. Oh. How did I just survive? How did I just win? Most of the time I don't complain because it keeps me in the game, but it's just strange, you know? I swear I'm not intentionally doing it, but it does happen, and you're just left in shock and utter confusion by how you just phased through a solid wall like a freaking ghost. All in all, Hole in the Wall is an amazing game. It's my new hyperfixation. Every time I close my eyes, I see walls. I see holes. I see that terrifying image of my naked face. It's all I can think about. Jokes aside, I 100% recommend it as a mostly stress-free game to sit back and enjoy. I started playing to get to the other side on stream after Hole in the Wall and found that I was somehow even worse at this game than anything else. I thought I was good at Minecraft. I mean, I've been playing the game for 8 years now, so one would think that I would know how to play. But MCC games really put your skills and knowledge of Minecraft mechanics to the test. To Get to the Other Side is a super fun game, but it really ignites something in me. It turns my competitiveness to the max. So, when a rando punches me off just before I reach the end, all hell breaks loose. You're a whore! There are some actual assholes who play this game. Like, they'll camp at a point where others can fall easily and literally just punch them off and sabotage them, and sometimes even causing them to not even qualify.
It's just a game.
Okay, well then let other people have fun playing it. I mean, that's what a game is for, right? Apart from those people, to get to the other side is great. It gets your blood pumping as you're trying to run and bridge as fast as you can. It definitely requires you to be able to speed bridge, which I'm still practicing, so I'm not the best. But you can also leech off of others and just use their bridges. This is what most people do and can honestly be a good strategy, as long as you're willing to sacrifice first place to your bridge provider. Like Hole in the Wall, to get to the other side has different modifiers that change the game when introduced. Some can be really annoying and frustrating to play with, such as red light, green light. No, red light, green light. This game mode is the bane of my existence. The equivalent of a hellish lag that rubber bands you, but this time, it's intentional. The rules of this modifier are the same as those in Squid Game. If the red light is on, you cannot move. The game will give you a couple seconds for reaction time when the red light does turn on. However, if you find yourself close to a player, well, you're done for. The minute they hit you, you're thrown back to the start where you have to restart the map again. And this isn't just a one-time thing, oh no. This can happen multiple times during a game and throw your progress so much that you end up not even qualifying. And it's not just players that sabotage your game. If you happen to be jumping from one platform to another, or even just falling a couple of blocks when the time for that darned crimson light to appear, you get sent back to the start. Yes, you were moving at a time when you can't move, those are the rules of the game, I know. But it's just unlucky and annoying for the red light to turn on after you've already jumped, and there's nothing you can do to stop moving when you're mid-air. You just have to accept your fate. This modifier is just an example of how ruthless they can sometimes be, and as someone who takes a while to become better at this particular game, but is also very competitive, it can be very frustrating. It makes it harder for someone who is just trying to learn the maps and techniques. It would be amazing if there was a non-modded version, but I do understand that this is just my opinion and Nox Crew could not satisfy everyone's requests. So I'll just get used to it, after a very long time. I did notice a couple of bugs, one of them being the same no hat bug as Hole in the Wall. The other being that the text saying what place you came overall, as the game finishes and teleports you back to the podium room, says the wrong place. In this clip, it's the last round. I finished 6th in the round, which places me 4th overall. But when the text pops up telling me what place I came, it says 5th, and I'm pretty sure it's supposed to tell me my overall placing, but it's wrong. Even the podium says I'm 4th, so I'm pretty sure this is a bug. That was the only thing I noticed. It doesn't affect the gameplay as much, but it does leave me and probably other players confused. Apart from that, the game runs well and is very fun to play. It would be a very fun game to play with friends in a party. I just need to get some first. Thank you so much for watching. This is quite different to my usual content, not that I upload much. I really enjoyed writing a review / kind of commentary video, whatever this is, so I might delve into more topics like this and just make videos that are fun for me to make in the future. Feel free to check out my other content for some chaotic Minecraft gameplay with my friends. If you're cool, click that thumbs uppy down below, and if you're daring, well, there is a fairly bright and obvious subscribe button down there too, so you know. Catch you next time.